Hello, welcome to finding the missing dimension when given the area of a two-dimensional figure. In these problems, we are going to follow 3 simple steps to find the missing dimension. In problem number 1, we have an area of 25, we have a base of 8, we do not know the height. So we're going to solve these problems by using the same 3 steps we solve whenever we have a formula. We're going to first write the formula. Number 1, area equals base times height. We will then plug in. The area we know is 25 because it told us in the problem. The equal sign comes straight down. The base is 8 because I can see the base is 8. And the height is x because we do not have a number here and there is an x. You'll notice when I plug in, I'm going from left to right, the same way that you read math, the same way that you read English. Once we have plugged in, we solve. Now, if they're normal or the regular area problems, you would just do the order of operations and simplify the numbers that are over here, the base and the height. But we don't know the height, which means in this case, we have to solve the equation we have here. You find the variable, it's an x. You look at what is happening to the variable. It is multiplying by 8. So we're going to do the inverse. We are going to do 8x divided by 8. The equal sign comes straight down. And whatever you do on one side, like dividing by 8, you have to do on the other side. Divide by 8. Now this time I did not read left to right like I read English. When you're solving, you go based on the variable, and the variable is on the right side. Now when I go to simplify, it doesn't matter which side I do first, the variable's on the right, so I'm going to go on the right side. 8 divided by 8 is 1, which activates the identity property. 1 times x is x. On the left side, I have 25 divided by 8. I'm actually going to come up here and do 25 divided by 8 because 8 won't go into 25 evenly. 8 goes into 25 3 whole times. 8 times 3 is 24. So you do 25 minus 24 and get 1 left over. That is your remainder. When you're doing mixed numbers, that means the 3 is your whole number, and 1, your remainder, is your numerator, and 8 is your denominator. Your denominator stays the same. So the answer is 3 1/8. In the problem, it was meters, so my answer is in meters. Problem number 2 is a triangle, and it's going to give us a slightly more difficult equation. But we follow the same 3 steps. We write the formula. Area equals base times 1/2, base times height. We plug in. Area is 42. I plug it in. Equal sign is an equal sign. The 1/2 is 1/2. The base we do not know, it's an x. And the height we are told is 10 centimeters. Now in this equation, I still want to solve, but I still want to solve if I have multiple numbers over here that I can do. I want to simplify first. So I will do 1/2 times 10 is 5. So that's 5x. The equal sign comes straight down because I did not use it. The 42 comes straight down because I did not use it. Now that there are no like terms and no parentheses, now that it can't be simplified, I identify the variable. It's an x. What is happening to the x? It's multiplying by 5. So we will divide by 5. Whatever we do on one side, you have to do to the other. 42 divided by 5. On the right side, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times x is x. Bring down the equal sign. And if I were to divide, 5 goes into 42 8 whole times, that's 40. 2 left over, that's my remainder. The denominator stays the same. So the answer is 8 2/5 centimeters. The last equation is another parallelogram with the same 3 steps. Write the formula. Plug into the formula. The area is 12. We have an equal sign. The base is 2 2/3, and we have a height. Now in this problem, when I go to solve this equation, I can't solve with a mixed number. I'm going to rewrite it with 8/3x on the right and 12/1 on the left. On the right side, I find my variable, it's an x. It's multiplying by 3/8, but remember, the opposite of multiplying by a fraction is not to divide by the fraction, because the way you divide by a fraction is you multiply by the reciprocal. So we will multiply by 3/8. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. Now on the right side, the 8 cross cancels with the 8 and becomes 1. 3 cross cancels with 3 and becomes 1. 1 times x is still x. On the left, 4 goes into 8 twice. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 in the numerator to get the numerator. 2 times 1 is 2 to get the denominator. And then 2 goes into 9 4.5 times. And